Welcome back to this week's edition of On the River. I'm your host, Joe Morgulec, and I'm happy to be back with you today. We've gotten a lot of positive feedback for this segment. The nice comments and uplifting messages have meant a lot to me and to the crew in the control room. We've got some interesting topics to cover this week, including surveys about our local drinking water, an update in the coronavirus vaccine, and some information about local restaurants. There's lots to get into with these topics and more, so I'd like to get started here today by talking about a survey being offered by a program called Friends of the St. Clair River. It may come as a surprising statistic to many of our viewers, but the St. Clair River provides approximately 60% of St. Clair County's drinking water. The Friends of the St. Clair River program has been working hard since 2007 to maintain the quality of this water, particularly monitoring with the intention of keeping it safe for drinking. The program is engaging the community to address concerns and questions about the health and safety of our water. The program is going by Friends for short and has outlined a multi-phase project for understanding community concerns and for mitigating skepticism of tap water that comes from the river. An 11-question survey has been created to assess the community's knowledge, perceptions, and concerns of the St. Clair River's tap water. Participants will be asked to optionally submit their email for a chance to win a $25 Visa gift card and to continue participation in community discussions. Survey responses will remain anonymous. The survey is available for the remainder of the month of March and can be found at scriver.org. With springtime approaching, there might be nothing more symbolic than the beauty and smell of colorful spring flowers. If you love flowers and have an interest in purchasing some for spring, look no further than the ARC Flower Fundraiser. The ARC program focuses on improving the lives of individuals with disabilities by advocating for their full inclusion and participation in society, as well as throughout the community. They do this by working both one-on-one and in a systems change capacity. Advocates of the ARC have over 5 combined decades of personal and professional experience, assisting people with disabilities and helping them to attain the services and supports that they need to live full and successful lives. As the new season approaches, the ARC is fundraising by selling beautiful flowers just in time for Mother's Day. Orders are due by April 12th, and expected pickup for flowers will be May 3rd after 12 p.m. The place for pickup will be 1530 Pine Grove in Port Huron in the parking lot. The ARC can be contacted at 810-989-9144 or by email contacting director@thearcscc.org. Orders for these flowers can be placed through forms found at thearcscc.org/flower-sale. Now for the latest on the COVID vaccine. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services has announced the following changes to the priority groups. Now eligible for vaccination as of March 8th, the vaccine has become available to food processing and agricultural workers, individuals aged 50 and over with medical conditions or disabilities, and caregiver family members and guardians who care for children with special health care needs. As of March 22nd, it will be expected that any individual aged 50 or older will be eligible for the vaccine. The St. Clair County Health Department will continue to schedule COVID-19 vaccine appointments with adults over the age of 65 continuing to be prioritized. We encourage interested individuals living or working in St. Clair County to pre-register at scchealth.co by clicking on the pre-registration for COVID-19 vaccine link. Now, I'd like to share a bit of information with you regarding the recent reopening of small businesses in our area. Since the start of February, restaurants and bars have been allowed to reopen at 25% capacity, though the restaurants are limited to 100 people and social distancing is still in effect. Many have been excited to be back in-house dining at their favorite restaurants. Since the reopening, local restaurants have been working hard to provide excellent service for their guests dining in-house once again. For one example, Pepper Joe's restaurant in St. Clair completed renovations to the kitchen with changes and equipment and painting as well. Another famous local restaurant, the Marine City Fish Company, has worked hard to reopen with the reveal of several new products and soon to be a new menu as well. Folks in the Blue Water area have been thrilled at the opportunity to be back in-house, enjoying meals from their favorite restaurants. Whether you prefer to dine in or order carry-out, the order of allowance for these businesses to reopen has made a tremendous positive impact on our community. Now for the latest in local entertainment for residents of St. Clair. The city's Chamber of Commerce is presenting the St. Patrick's Day Courtyard Crawl at the City Plaza on Saturday. Warwater Brewery, Anchor Point Bistro, and Drifters Restaurant are among those who will be open and serving during the event. Featured artists for this weekend will be Los Gringos, 86 Noodles, and Bob and Lon. It's always a great time at our local festivals and events, so if you're interested, consider stopping by this Saturday, with festivities beginning around noon and continuing through midnight. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this week's local news. As you know, I like to end this segment by helping to familiarize our viewers with one of the wonderful Great Lakes freighters that we see passing by often on the St. Clair River. This week, I'll be introducing you to what is perhaps the most famous freighter on the Great Lakes. People from all around Michigan have come to the world-famous St. Clair Boardwalk or have continued north to the beautiful bridge to Canada in Port Huron with hopes to catch a glimpse of the famous Paul R. Tregurtha. At over 1,013 feet, Interlake's Paul R. Tregurtha is the longest ship on the Great Lakes. She can carry up to 68,000 gross tons of taconite pellets or 71,000 net tons of coal. Her unloading system and 260-foot boom empty her 5 cargo holds in about 8 hours. Built in 1981 by the American Shipbuilding Company in Ohio, this vessel was first named the William J. Delancey before the 1990 renaming to its current name, the Paul R. Tregurtha, in honor of Interlake's vice chairman of the board. The Tregurtha stands out as it passes by on the lake. Its coloring and design are a classic, and the sheer size of the boat is enough to catch the attention of a passerby. If you're interested in learning more about the Great Lakes freighters, the Paul R. Tregurtha, nicknamed Queen of the Lakes, would be a great place to start. That's going to do it for this week's edition of On the River. I want to express my gratitude for all of you who have tuned in and watched the segment for this week. I really believe this is an excellent way for us to spread some knowledge about what's happening in the community. So I encourage you to share this information that you learned in the video or even forward the link on YouTube to anyone who you feel would be interested. I'm thankful for your time. I wish you all a great week. Once again, I'm your host, Joe Morgulec, and this has been On the River. Till next time.